welcome back to My Life Coach Sandra, the platform where we talk about everything from anxiety to mindset work, all so you guys can live a fulfilling and filled life that completely works for you. Let's get into today's video. Today's video is going to be somewhat of like a word ramble, a life update, a little bit of life lessons coming from me. It's going to be heavily inspired by a quote by H.W.L Poonja. I hope I've said that right. If I haven't, let me know. It's going to be very casual. The sun is just doing a lot, so it's going to be a very casual video, but it's going to be filled with life lessons so you guys, you know, have some support and understand that life is interesting, and even the people that do the work still have to do the work, if that makes any sense. And the quote goes, it's a really long quote, but the one part that I really want to focus on is where it says, if there is peace in your mind, you will find peace with everybody. Off the back of that quote, I kind of reworked it and kind of made it work for today's video, and I wanted to kind of rework it and change it from everybody to, well, change it from with everybody to everywhere. So if you have peace in your mind, you have peace everywhere. And why finding peace within your mind is so important, because a lot of us kind of talk about self-care, and I do it all the time as well. I talk about self-care, and I talk about how important it is for you to look after yourself and do things that work for you, do things that make you feel good and kind of bring your energy back and take you out of an anxious mindset. But it's really hard to do all of those things, even feel like getting out of bed, when your mind's just not in it, your mind's not at peace. There's something that you're thinking about. And unless we kind of focus on those root things, those root causes, we're always just going to feel like we're running away, and we're always going to feel as though there's something following us and that we don't feel safe in any space that we go into, which is why it's so important to have peace in your mind, and why I talk about mindset work, and why I talk about resetting and doing the work so you guys are able to go anywhere, do anything, and know that you are grounded in who you are. So what does peace in your mind look like, and how can you find or get peace in your mind? So I recently went away on holiday, and although everyone talks about go on vacation, relax, everyone talks about having a break from work, taking time off work, and oh, you need a few days, and you kind of, okay, the best cure for burnout is taking a break. But sometimes it's really not. Sometimes you carry all those thoughts and feelings with you no matter where you go. So it's not about physical escapism, and it's not about mental escapism. It's about kind of going deep down and understanding what it is that you're experiencing. So doing the work is so important, because your mind will always be with you. Your mind will always go anywhere you go. So like as soon as you realize that, that's why it's so important to do the work. Doing the work and finding peace in your mind starts with not trying to escape, not trying to run away from any of your thoughts, not trying to run away from your feelings, but allowing yourself to experience them. If that means crying, if that means screaming into your pillowcase, whatever it means to you, that's what finding peace in your mind has to start with. You have to kind of have a level of acceptance, like this is where I'm at, this is what my mind is, this is what I'm thinking of. Okay, now how can I help myself to do this? Well, figuring out ways that work for you. So whether it's getting a coach, whether it's going to therapy, whether it's talking to friends, family, strangers on the internet, coming to YouTube channels like mine, that's where you kind of need to start. You need to get curious with your mind. And as I always say, the workbook will always be in the description bar below. It's completely free, and it starts exactly where you need to start, with being curious with your mind, trying to understand what your mind is telling you, what the stories are that you're telling yourself, and allowing yourself to dive deep and not run away. You can always get that in the description bar below. And the quote also, at like a later point in the quote, it also talks about if your mind is agitated, you will always find things that are agitating, and you will always find agitation. A lot of people kind of experience this like the idea of like the rule of three, like bad things happen in threes, or everything, like one bad thing happens and it's like, what do you call it, like a domino effect, and bad things just keep happening and they keep happening. I think it's also looking at the idea of perspectives and thinking about the universe and thinking about the law of attraction and trying to understand what your energy is at a certain point. And it's also understanding that if you're agitated, the world around you will also be agitated. But that's not to cancel out that the world is bigger than us. Sometimes we are not the main character. Two things can be true at once. The world can have its own stuff, people around you can be experiencing their own stuff, but all you are in control of is yourself, your thoughts, your feelings, how you react to the world. And understanding that is a great place to start. I will always be the first to say that this life is hard. Like, life can really be difficult and frustrating, and you can feel, especially when you know you're surrounded by social media and you look at the world around you. I want you to understand that you are not alone in your thoughts, in your anxieties, in a mindset that you feel that doesn't work for you. A lot of people feel the exact same way that you do, but now you know this, and now you're aware or enlightened or informed, which I prefer to say. I love knowing that people are informed about themselves and informed about the way that they can better themselves and help themselves. It's your chance and your opportunity to look after yourself, to look after your mind. I am not perfect. I always tell anyone that follows me, anyone that engages with my content, you will have days where, or weeks or moments in your life where things just feel overwhelming. And full transparency, I've had that recently. I have those moments, but it's going back into a routine. It's going back into understanding and knowing what brings me peace. And once you know those things, it's consistently practicing them. Now, consistency is interesting. It's really, really difficult to be consistent, especially when our society has connected consistency and results or reward together. Like they're married to each other. So if you're being consistent with something, you think that there will be a reward or there will be a goal achieved at the end, but it's disconnecting them and understanding that consistency is just you existing. It's allowing yourself to exist in the best possible way. So I feel like that's how you can find peace, and to start to find peace, it's a journey. We're all learning together. This is what this space is for. This is what My Life Coach Sandra was created for you to learn from me to learn from the world, for you to learn from the world. And whatever information I gain, you gain. So although this video was super quick, I just wanted to come back and say, find your peace. I'm doing it too. Yeah, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. If there's any content that you'd like to see, if this camera angle was good, bad, ugly, tell me, be completely honest. And yeah, I hope you have a lovely day, week, month, year, and see you in the next one. Bye.